You don't just live in your home, you live in your neighborhood as well. So when you're shopping for a home, you want to know as much about the area around it as possible. Luckily, Homes.com has got you covered. Each listing features a comprehensive neighborhood guide from local experts. Everything you'd ever want to know about a neighborhood, including the number of homes for sale, transportation, local amenities, cultural attractions, unique qualities, and even things like median lot size and a noise score. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
Booze and banter.
All right, Frank, another beautiful location.
Yeah.
We're here with Jeff. Jeff, introduce yourself.
Jeff Rogers, Angry Garlic, Angry Smokehouse. Thank you for having me.
So you have two locations.
Yes.
And we are at Angry Smokehouse right now, which is your newer location.
Yeah. Been open 14 months now.
Yeah, so I actually it's reminiscent because we know the owner of Lock 24 that had this prior. Well, we went to school with him at Beeville, but this is where I had my daughter's first birthday party in this room.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I mean, it was a lot different looking now. That was years ago, decades ago almost. But so it's a nice location. Like Roman said, he did a lot to it, and we're interested to talk to you about how this sort of started, and even how Angry Garlic had started.
Sure.
And then kind of where you're going from there. I know there's some other things you got going on also that we've seen, so we'll talk about that as well.
Just went public with that, with Angry Waters,
Yep. And then Embers.
Embers as well, the deck bar,
So, yeah.
So the whole venture started with Angry Garlic.
Well, for the Angry family.
Angry family. Okay, yeah. Give us a little background on the title, like where.
Angry Garlic?
Yeah, like
so.
The Angry family.
Well, the Angry family started. I've been in the industry 32 years.
Oh, in the restaurant business.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I started when I was 16.
But not around here.
No, here, Angry Garlic started for me around here.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, previous to Angry Garlic, I was in Syracuse area. I was out in Rochester, and for a long time, I was like a resort traveling bartender. It was like the dream gig for my age at that time.
You gotta get on a cruise ship.
Oh man, it's the only thing I haven't done. So yeah, I started at Drumlin's Country Club in 1991.
Yeah, out Camilla's, right?
As a cigarette picker-upper in the parking lot / busboy / fry cook.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with the industry. I really did. At 16 years old, I fell in love with it. Fast forward, I was a part of, previous to Angry Garlic, I had owned one restaurant by myself previous to that, but I also had opened 10 other restaurants for other people. So I've been a part of a lot of openings of restaurants, which I'm very blessed to have done. And I love being a part of that, And then I had gotten out of the industry for a little while, got back in it to open up Empire Brewing Company for Dave Kaleski downtown. So I was part of his opening crew down there. Not as ownership or anything, just as part of the opening crew. And after 10 years there, I looked at my wife and I'm like, what are we doing? Let's open up another restaurant in Beeville, because we were in Beeville for quite a few years at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Sent out a bunch of letters to restaurant owners saying, hey, you looking to sell? And the owner of the space where Angry Garlic is at that time.
What was that? Bench?
Back then it was called The Office.
Okay, so
Office
before
Bar
that it was something else.
Before that it was Badlands.
That's what it was, right? Yeah.
And then for like 40 years it was the Seneca Grill.
That's right. I remember. So I may or may not have been there underage. Because
I know they had like pool tables there.
They used to have pool tables in the front dining room.
Because I remember going to Lake Effect, and then we went over there to shoot pool.
Yeah, I took the pool tables out because I wanted to make it more of a restaurant than a pub. So I took the pool tables out, expanded the bar, and went from there.
Makes sense. Yeah.
But it's all worked apparently, because it's great. It's great fucking food, by the way.
Thank you.
The stuff. And,
for
the Angry Garlic, for the Angry Garlic piece of it, can you just quickly describe all the food is garlic infused or garlic inspired?
Every single dish has garlic in it. Yeah. Every single dish. It's 100% of the menu, including our desserts. Has garlic in it.
How about garlic beer? You sell that yet?
No,
there is such thing. Yeah.
I had there was a local brewery making a black garlic beer for me, because I ferment my own black garlic over there as well.
Yes.
And there was a full craft brewery was making a garlic beer a black garlic beer for me. It was pretty neat.
But you haven't sold it yet?
It was. I had it on tap for a while, but or full bore, not full craft, full bore. And
The full bore's gone now, right?
Yeah, they're gone now. So eventually, though, I do have to have someone start making that black garlic.
Yeah.
Do you have a brewery that you're talking already or not yet?
Talking Cursive does a lot with me as well as Buried Acorn. Those two breweries, I work hand in hand with both of them, and they create all kinds of delicious beers for the location.
Yeah, we've met with both of those.
We interviewed both of them already. Yeah, nice guys.
Oh, they're great guys. They're great guys. Derek, the owner of Lunkenheimer Brewery, he's another great. He and his wife are amazing people. Yeah, it's awesome that they want to work with the local small restaurants to say, hey, let me create something for you. It's awesome. I love it.
And that's what we love, that we're trying to help and support local businesses. Yeah. And that needs to be shined more, and more people need to get involved, understand how important it is for local industry and local businesses as well.
I agree.
Yeah, women-owned, minority-owned, veteran-owned, all those things are what we kind of like. And, I think generally most people support them. Yeah. But maybe a lot of people don't know about them. So that's where we're hoping we can help that. But so also, I didn't drink anything because we didn't cheers yet, but
sorry,
you're like premature,
sorry.
Roman.
Cheers, guys. Cheers.
Thank you.
What are we drinking? What is this?
You got Jack's Abbey Blood Orange Wheat.
Yep.
Okay.
I've got Middle Ages 53.
Single batch 58.
58.
I think it's 58.
Okay.
And I'm drinking Lunkenheimer Blackberry Kolsch.
Nice.
Good.
Cheers, guys.
Their Blackberry Kolsch is awesome.
So Angry Garlic got the whole thing started. The Angry family.
The whole Angry family, yeah. Angry Garlic. So when my wife and I decided, yes, we're going to move forward on opening up another restaurant, we knew we either wanted to do barbecue or garlic. I grew up in a very Italian household, so garlic was in everything. And
it should be. I'm a big garlic fan as well, by the way.
And we were leaning more towards garlic at that time, only because it was so unique, so different. There's only a couple real authentic garlic restaurants in the country. I mean, Stinking Rose out in California is one of them, and The Garlic, which is in New Smyrna Beach, Florida, is also one. And I'm like, there's nothing even remotely close to that in New York, so let's do it. So we did it. After going back and forth for a few weeks on the name, eventually Angry Garlic just kind of developed, and we had a lot of people saying you can't go that route because you never have anything negative in your marketing or in the name of a place, and Angry being negative.
Well, that's not when you got to do it. Like, you tell them no, you got to go do it.
Well, yeah. And so I reached out to my friend Nick Wyseges, who I've been best friends with since kindergarten. He's an amazing artist. And I was like, Nick, I need you to draw me a picture of a pissed off piece of garlic. He's like, what? Yeah. I go, I'm moving on to another business. And he's done all the logos and everything for me for years and years and years.
Nailed it, by the way, because that fucking logo's spot on.
He's local here?
He grew up here. Okay. We both went to Blessed Sacrament School together in Eastwood, and then Bishop Grimes School together for high school. And then he moved to Rochester, started up his own company doing, design and this and that. He's a genius. And then he's like, all right, he goes, give me a couple days. And he draws.
That's what best friends do, by the way. You just ask them, I'm not going to ask you why, what's going on, I just do it.
Exactly. That was him. He didn't need background on why I was doing it. He just knows how I am at this point. He's just like, whatever, man. I don't even know what you got going on right now, but I'll draw you a pissed off piece of garlic. In the first one, the comedian Sam Kinison? You remember Sam Kinison? Yes. He had his face coming out of a head of garlic. I was like, it's cool, man, but it's too pissed off. I'm like, we're family friendly. That's going to scare the shit out of little kids, So I go, let's tone it down just a little bit. And 24 hours later, he had the image that you see now over there. And then he added, the beer and stuff and a burger to it. And I was like, it's perfect. Yeah. It was a second draft. I was like, don't change it.
It kind of reminds me a little of Otto. Like there was a military Otto, Otto the Orange.
Yeah.
There was a military Otto that kind of looked not like this, but it's more like irritated and not I'm gonna kill you, and I'm pissed off and you're an asshole. It's just sort of like
Otto is a mascot in
Yeah,
Syracuse.
yeah, but that's what this looks like on your garlic logo.
Yeah.
It's not offensive,
No, and it's fun, and the talk. Why is it angry? Why is it angry? It drummed up so much talk, and it was kind of cool because everyone that was saying don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. You can't have that in your name. It actually went the opposite, and it drummed up so much talk on social media and just in general.
Yep.
You have to. Some people have that personality. They're being told don't do something, and you're like, well, I'm going to do it.
It's great. I've been there since the beginning, and you guys had done something different during COVID. You guys were doing deliveries, and I think my wife had actually talked to you a couple times about some sort of chicken you guys were selling that you don't sell anymore, but you were delivering you were catering, like we'd come pick it up.
Yeah. We're doing curbside.
Yep.
Yeah, everything.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't like to talk about it, but it was a rough time.
Sure.
And when all that happened, we shut down for a couple weeks voluntarily because I was like, my wife and I were like, what the fuck is going on right now? And then when we reopened up, we were like, all right, we want to still keep the staff employed, we don't want anyone to suffer. What are we going to do? And that's when we were like, we're going to do curbside pickup, we're going to do delivery, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And then it was a hit.
Yep.
It did well. And then we were talking, and I'm like, how can we provide entertainment? So I got a hold of all the local musicians. I'm like, you guys want to set up inside and play for all these people pulling up curbside?
Oh, very nice.
And then
I hadn't heard anybody doing that.
Oh, yeah, it was, and Mark Macri, all the local solo musicians, Just Joe, Max. There's so many of them that were like, I just want to play. Mm-hmm. They're like, I just want to play music. And so I cleared out the whole front dining room where all those windows are. They ran an outdoor speaker, put a tip jar out there. The next thing you know, I got 50 people lined up on the sidewalk in chairs. They're eating their dinners in a takeout container, hanging out, listening to music. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever, man. This is so cool right now.
It's super innovative, right? Just an idea.
It
worked, yeah.
I'm just like, how can everyone benefit from such a terrible fucking thing going on right now and feel normal? That was what it was all about. It was just some normalcy.
People were confused, struggling,
pissed off,
and you gave them a little happiness and joy and
because people got to eat, and you're getting good stuff, right? You get good food, and it was a shitty situation for everybody, but it was terrible.
But then Angry Smokehouse came along.
So Angry Garlic was thankfully thriving, doing well, still is thriving, and then. Now, if you know me, you know that I can't sit still for more than literally 4 minutes.
I think we're seeing it.
Yeah, I can't. I sleep 3-4 hours a night, and other than that, the wheels are turning. I do a lot of pacing, walking around, but I just can't. I can't sit. So I need to constantly be doing something. Angry Garlic was at a place where I felt comfortable. I didn't have to be at the restaurant, 60, 70 hours a week anymore. My team is amazing there. So I went to look for another expedition, I guess you could say. And we decided we were going to go barbecue on this one. I was originally looking at Fayetteville. I wanted to be out in Fayetteville to do another Angry Garlic, but there was nothing available in Fayetteville for another Angry Garlic. There's no building available. All of a sudden, this place is going up for auction, this building. And I'm like, all right, if we're buying another building in Beeville, obviously we got to go barbecue, not garlic. So we're getting ready to go to the auction, and Kirby's went up for sale in Fayetteville. The spot right in the village there. Yeah. And I'm like, that's a perfect location. Yeah. So I go out there. Well, this place is still in the back of my head, this place is going up for auction. We're going out there, checking out that building to open up another Angry Garlic, and it just didn't work out. There was kind of a little bit of almost a bidding war on the lease out there, and I was like, I don't want to get into a lease bidding war. So we went to the auction on this place. Surprisingly, we won it at a foreclosure auction, and off to the races we went. We gutted it. I mean, it was was like the movie The Money Pit.
Yeah.
It really was.
Tom Hanks. Yeah.
Every layer of that onion we peeled off, it was worse and worse this place.
Yeah, every layer of garlic.
Oh, the garlic, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, we knew an owner, the owner of this two businesses ago, and it was decent. But I realized that he had some issues with structures and things like this, and maybe some other code stuff. And so I don't know what happened. I wasn't here after the business that took over after him, so I know that was a bit of a problem, and then that's why you were able to buy this at foreclosure.
Yeah, there was a lot, just an absurd amount of water damage. It really is what it came down to. A lot of plumbing leaks and stuff that were never taken care of. My contractor, Randy Reinhardt, he owns R&R Roofing and Construction. Amazing person. He was the GC on the job, and I came in one day. I hadn't been in here for like 2 days, and I came in. They had a big island bar in there, and that was all ripped out. The carpets were ripped out, this and that. And I come back, and all the subfloor was ripped out, and it's just floor joists. I'm like, what is going on? What did you do? What are you doing? He's like, it's rotted, man. He goes, everything. He goes, it is so rotted. Even the floor joists were rotted. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. This is not really happening. It turned into an absolute disaster.
But it was a 8 or 10 month renovation. So if you've been open for
month.
So it's 14-month renovation, and you've been open for 14 since then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 28 months total.
28 months total since I've owned the building and we started renos. Yeah, it ended up being a 14-month renovation.
Yeah. No, I know. We watched the progress you put on Facebook and these kind of things, and we'll get some footage later of what's going on outside. You're on the lock on the water. You got Paper Mill Island. You get people coming for there, and so you've got your smokehouse theme now, and I know you went across the whole East Coast, right?
Yeah, Midwest. I started in Texas.
Okay,
and then I drove my way back. Called all these places ahead of time, set up arrangements so I could study with their pit masters. I ended up hitting, I think it was 32 barbecue joints and 11 pit masters I ended up studying with while on the road. But I flew out to Texas, rented a car, worked my way back. I was in Texas, Missouri, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina.
Yep. And that's the thing. There's this passion, right? I mean, you're technically competitors in different parts of the country, right? But everybody's willing to share. And I know you got some recipe book from someone that's a famous guy.
Yeah, that was at Marlowe's.
Yeah.
They shared everything.
Yep.
They didn't care.
Yep.
They were like, we want to see you do barbecue right in New York State.
Yeah, it's largely not. Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm doing it right or anyone else is doing it wrong. Don't take that the wrong way. But I was just more or less ecstatic that they were like, yeah, get your pen and paper, man. Let's do this. And they let me hang out 8, 10, 12 hours with them all day, all night, firing up the cookers, pulling brisket, doing rubs, doing sauces, everything.
And up until that point, you never had?
Not at the level I needed to, at home with my little smoker, but I've never done it to this type of caliber.
So it was reversed then. It was a little smoker and a lot of these.
Yeah.
Now it's a lot of smoker and a little of these.
Right. Precisely. Yes. Yeah. I'm not sure which is more fun yet.
Yeah. Well, as this, maybe it's kind of like following the same path as Angry Garlic, where you see it can kind of run on its own. You're still involved, but you trust your staff, and then you're going to get here. And now we get into some of these new ventures you've just announced this week, I think, right?
Just a few days ago.
Yeah.
You can't sit still. Now this is running itself. You got to do something else.
I got to do something else. Yeah. And so it's funny, last summer I'm on the deck, and this wall right here, all the boats tie up to the wall right outside this building. I'm watching them pass through, and they're calling the restaurant for takeout orders to be delivered to the boat that's sitting on the wall. So we're doing boat delivery, and I'm just like, man, right on the water. How can I utilize this a little better? In the fall, I was like, I gotta open up a food boat.
Nice.
I met with the village so I could park it right here on the wall, and the village was like, it's a panel of 5 people. Mayor's one of them, police chief, and every one of them were like, we love it.
Fucking accommodating. At least they're accommodating, because there's a lot of red tape sometimes, and this is good for our community. I mean, we're both local also in this in this area, so it's good that they don't.
They didn't bat an eye.
There's no. They
didn't bat an eye, and I was like, this is awesome. Mm-hmm. So so just a little while ago, I bought the boat, gave them the punch list of what needs to be done to it, and I mean, within 4 weeks, The last thing that's got to get done to the boat is my food warmers. My hot boxes get delivered. I think they said 20 days out. And as soon as those get delivered, they put everything else will be done on the boat.
Is it like a pontoon boat?
It's about a 22-foot pontoon, and then the whole front of it is gutted. The back of it, I kept seating in the back, and there's a big old storage compartment that's covered, so I could keep I have a generator going on the boat. Any kind of I need to have backup power just to fire up those hot boxes. So there's generators going to go on the boat, and they're doing all kinds of other things to doctor it up for power, so that I don't have to run the generator all the time, backup batteries and inverters, and this. I don't understand any of it, but they're amazing at what they do. And Pirates Cove Marina is actually doing all the work for me. Paul owns it, and Taylor his mechanic. They're unreal.
Is this something that you're gonna always keep it here at the wall?
Yeah.
Or you're gonna like go out somewhere, drop an anchor, and like all these boats come over?
Well, no. So what it is? So this will be home for the boat.
Okay.
And it'll take off. It's only going to launch Thursday through Sunday, because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, there's not going to be a ton of people out on the water. So Thursday through Sunday it'll launch, and it'll cruise down the Seneca over to Cross Lake, 3-4 miles an hour. If you're on your boat, you can pull up. I'll serve you food in takeout containers. I have a menu board right across the top of the boat, and the menus get changed all the time. So you can order off the menu, and we'll serve you.
And you did I see something about GPS and an app maybe?
Yeah, so
You can pre-order?
no, it's not for pre-ordering.
Okay.
It's so you can see where I am.
Okay.
I was
So
just
if
gonna
you're
say
hanging
that.
out with your buddies on the boat, you're like, I'm hungry. Where's Angry Waters? Oh shit, they're only half mile away. Let's grab them.
Yeah.
And you can see
you know it's gonna happen too, right?
Oh, yeah. And then there's a couple of different party coves on Cross Lake where they tie up. So I'll hang out there. Maybe I'll go to the amphitheater on big concert weekends or something, because there's a lot of boats out there at the amphitheater. Perfect. So I'll go over there.
I've gone there with a friend during a concert, and there are boats lined up along the shore and listening, because there's also a big screen, you can kind of see it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Facing the water?
Depending on where you parked, you can see portion of the big monitor.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But that part gets crowded. But it's nice to hear, and the sound radiates through water nice. But it gets crowded, so that'll be a perfect spot.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's year one. So we're gonna see how it goes, just doing the Seneca and the Cross Lake and hopefully a couple of amphitheater concerts, and we're gonna see what happens.
So this reminds me of like you're like the beer girl on the golf course.
Yeah.
You're just on the water, but like people got to go find the beer girl. Wait for the beer girl to come in and get their beer.
I should have named the boat Angry Bitch. I'm the angry bitch.
There you go. Call your designer. He won't ask. He'll just do it.
You already did it.
I don't know if you remember. We were here like a month or so ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, and I think we were at the bar. It's closing time. I was with a couple other people, and you mentioned that you're going to do something, and you didn't have the name yet, or you weren't telling people the name was. But I was like, well, what are you going to sell off it? And you're like, I'm just going to sell hot dogs. I'm like, well, then you can call it the Angry Wiener.
I love it. Yeah,
which is a whole different genre, by the way.
Different type of boat.
There's silicone involved and stuff. You know what?
I got to reshape that whole boat.
But people are going to be able to sit on this boat.
No.
Okay.
So it's not a cruise, a meal cruise boat per se. I'm not even cooking on the boat. So when I called a friend of mine that works at the health code department, and I talked to her. Her name's Amy. She's a wonderful person. I was like, Amy, here's what I want to do. She's like, Jesus, Jeff. She goes, I don't even know.
I see a theme here.
She's like, I don't even know. She goes, no one's ever asked me. She goes,
no
I gotta get
code
back
for
to you. And I told her, I go, I'm cooking the restaurant at Angry Garlic. I'm cooking the food at Angry Garlic. I'm cooking the food at the Smokehouse. I'm going to load it up on the boat in hot boxes. It's going to be held at 145 degrees. So I'm not actually cooking. There's no raw product on the boat at all.
So you're offering products from both menus.
Exactly.
I see. Yep.
So every day the menus, or every day, every week, whatever, the menu's going to change. It's going to be a small menu, probably 4 products from AG, 4 products from Ash, and that's it. We go. And she's like, so you're not going to have anyone on the boat? I go, just the captain. She goes, and you're not going to have people sitting on it? I'm like, no. I go, Amy, think of a food truck, but it's literally on the water.
Food boat, yeah.
And she's like, and you're not cooking on the boat? I'm like, nope. and she's like, this is the first time I'm going to say this in my career. She goes, you don't need shit from me. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And she's like, yeah, you don't need a bathroom. There's no one on the boat. She goes, you don't have raw product. You don't even need a hand wash station.
You don't need handicap accessible or nothing. None of these regulations.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, she's like, this is the first time I'm ever going to say this in my career. She's like, no kidding. I mean, I'm going to put a hand wash station on anyways, just because I have a little bit of that problem too going on where I wash my hands 122 times a day. So yeah, and it's going to be, you know, and I have 4 hot boxes there going to get more, you know, put on the boat and it's just going to hold temp. And
So once
have
you-
fun. When I sell out, I sell out.
Yep. Yeah.
Once you run out of food, is there a way you can notify on the app so when people see where you are, they can at least see whether you still have food or
That's
not?
a great idea. I'm not sure. I
So
don't
then,
know.
like, they don't find you like, oh, he's nearby, but then they show up and there's no food. So it's like to wait and to notify, like, we're out. You know what I mean?
I wonder how I could do that.
Well, part of it is you'd probably be heading back anyway, so they'd see your GPS. You're probably coming to get more food at this location or something, right?
Yeah.
So you're reloading. So if they're gonna come meet you here, they might as well come in.
If that feature is possible, that'd be great.
That is
I'm just thinking of
I didn't
as
think
a
about
boat
that.
operator,
Yeah.
starving,
Right.
heading to get food, and you show up and you're like, damn it, he's out.
Yeah, you're gunning it to get
Yeah.
2 miles to find me.
Yeah, I just
and you
burned
pull up,
4
you're like,
gallons of
are
fuel.
you kidding me? You're out?
I got a bean here.
Do you have any fat I can have?
There's a little grease tray.
Brisket fat at least?
Yeah, I'm not saying no to it.
Give him
but-
the drip tray.
How about alcohol? You serving alcohol in there?
I'm not doing alcohol on the
That's
boat.
I know it's a little
The
different.
liability
Yep.
to have alcohol on a boat is unbelievable. Not to mention, I mean, I'm going to be pulling up to other boats that already have alcohol on it. I'm going to be pulling up to docks where they have a camp, they have alcohol. So I'll have bottles of water, I'll have cans of soda, stuff like that. But you know, this year I'm going to keep it very simple. You know, I'm going to just have one person running the boat. That same person will be able to serve the food, so it's low labor. You know, and it'll be trial and error this.
That's a great business model, for sure.
And we're going to screw up, I'm sure, 138 times throughout the
That's
summer.
how you learn.
And we're going to learn. You know,
But people are pretty patient with that. They'll know. I mean, I know you had some problems getting this up and running. Aside from the renovation, there were some other. I think the color of the building and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when I finally opened, I got bashed for serving white bread.
Yeah, because that's not really with
In the
barbecue.
Midwest and the South, barbecue's white bread, man. You know, you go to a barbecue joint in Texas.
Fuck, man. Let's go. Over.
Yeah. I'm not going back. They serve white bread.
Yeah.
In Texas, you go to a barbecue joint and you get a platter. You're getting a half a loaf of white bread. I mean, I'm not even joking. It's crazy. So I wanted to stick with what I learned. So that's what I did here. You know, and I got murdered for it. I got absolutely murdered.
But you're able
for
to flex and adjust, and now you're, cornbread now, right? Or something like
cornbread.
that.
Yeah, I lasted 6 months with the white bread.
It's a lot of fucking supply you gotta
Oh
buy there.
man, I lasted 6 months. I'm like, I'm not giving in. I'm not gonna give
You're gonna
in.
start selling Angry Toast.
Oh, shit.
No more white bread.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it got
White bread matters.
It got so. That's some funny shit. It got so bad that, you know, and my staff and I were trying to make light of it. We're like, oh my God, is it affecting business? Because we're getting so much negative feedback on social media from fucking white bread that they got T-shirts made up. And it was a huge piece of white bread. It just said, I'm here for the white bread. Literally.
Perfect.
So that was their fucking uniform.
Yeah.
That's what they were wearing to work.
That's okay.
I was like, that's priceless. Jackie, the one that's behind the bar right now, she's actually the one that had the T-shirts all made up. She's like, how many you want, boss? I'm like, all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Give me them all. I'll wear them all.
Angry loaf.
Yeah. It said, I'm here for the white bread.
No, you've done a great job. Obviously, I mean, yeah, you take these punches, you take these hits, you adjust, and people, will come back and they'll realize. And there's generally a lot of patient people. I mean, I guess probably those people that aren't, or the people that are going to be a little more less likely to accept, whatever it is the problem they're having. Sure. Maybe you don't need them.
You can't accommodate everybody.
It's impossible. Yeah. It's impossible. And I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it. The general attitude of a lot of the public changed over the course of the last couple of years.
Oh, since COVID? Yeah.
There's less patience. There's less kindness.
There's going to be and it's going to be a transition for years.
I know.
Yep.
But it's
Unfortunate.
In this industry specifically, I noticed that it's changed a lot. It has in regards to the guest service. And I don't mean to come across as sounding unappreciative. I appreciate every single guest that walks through this door.
And I know that because you talk to us every time we come in, and we've never met like this, but I know you see every table, you check on everybody's meal.
Yeah.
And it's genuine. You're not just doing it because you feel like you have to.
I want to know. Yep. You know, and if there's a problem with your meal, I want you to tell me so I can fix it. Yep. Yep. You know, don't blast me on social media. Let me fix it. Yeah. You know, let me make it right. But yeah, I mean, and it just, I don't know. You can ask any single one of my staff members and they'll tell you the same thing, which is, people just, some people are just miserable. There's no making them happy. There's no pleasing them.
I had a friend go to a restaurant for lunch. He's like, fucking took forever. I'm like, dude, they're probably understaffed. Like, just be patient. Or just plan. Like,
drink more beer.
This has been this has been going on for a while. You know, it's not like it just happened just to you. Like, just realize you're gonna go out where there's hospitality or services, there's shortage of staff, even in the medical industry. Yeah. But just understand that's what's going on, and it's no fault of you, or just that's what happened in the world, and there's gonna be a long-term recovery from that.
Yeah, there really, and that is a bulk of the problem that restaurants are having is they can't staff. I'm very, very blessed. I have a full staff at both restaurants. With the outside open, I'm at 82 for staff. You know?
Yeah, and so I've noticed, I was going to bring this up, I noticed, I think, you know, from an outsider, I don't believe you have a lot of turnover.
I thankfully I don't.
Yeah, so I mean, you're doing something right, so obviously employees love you and things like this. I get all that. On the back end that people maybe on the restaurant side don't give a shit about. They want good food, good service. Right. But on the back end, you have people that are able to support you long term because you're treating them right as well. Yeah. And that's really not talked about often. So, you know, I appreciate that, and you know, we're business owners, so we appreciate that.
Everyone's in a good spirit. Like, while we were setting up, just hearing employees, they're just happy, they're showing up, they're excited. You feel that positive energy. Yeah. And I was just kind of, I'm busy, I'm focused on the equipment, but I'm hearing what's happening in the background. I'm like, what a cool, what cool environment.
Well, you set these tacos out, and at first I'm like, I can't tacos were set up, and I'm like, and I did something like, what a dick tease. Like, but then you came out and offered. I'm like, well, okay. You know?
I realized I didn't at first. I'm like, I'm being a dick tease.
Again, no, I just love, like, that's great marketing, right?
Right.
No,
exactly.
it's
we're like setting up and drooling, like, oh, that looks good. But we're definitely gonna eat when we're done.
But did you want to talk about Embers at all? Is that just the outdoor bar?
Embers Deck Bar, yeah. So I built that last summer. I didn't build it. I had someone build it last summer. I'm not going to take credit for that. And the liquor license was supposed to come by 4th of July weekend. I was supposed to have a liquor license for out there. 4th of July weekend came and went, you know, and then August is approaching. August went. I'm like, you got to be shitting me. September comes and it was almost Labor Day. I finally got the liquor license out there. I'm like, I'm not
to hang out in fucking Christmas time, right?
Yeah. So I called a buddy of mine. I'm like, you might as well shrink wrap the bar.
So why is that a different liquor license?
So every time you have a bar in any establishment, you have to have separate liquor licenses for each bar.
So anybody that's got, say, a one single open area, if they've got 4 different bars in that same area, you have to have 4 licenses?
I don't know if it's in the same area. I might need a separate one because it's now considered an exterior.
Okay, all right.
Separate structure.
Yeah, if I put a little mini bar back here, I don't think, I don't know.
Well, exactly. Amy, can you fucking answer us on that, right? No, Amy's not.
She's health code.
Sorry.
She's health.
Never mind, Amy.
Good luck getting a hold of State Liquor Authority. Good luck with that.
Yeah, we heard stories from.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I see. I was just curious. I understand that there's this kind of regulation. I just didn't know.
But yeah, it's a pain in the ass. But they had no problem cashing their check for $3,625 right away.
Yep. Of course.
But it is what it is. Hey, I'm grateful. The liquor license came this summer. We're going to open it up, and I opened it up as almost like a separate entity because you have the Angry Smokehouse, right? You have this great bar in there and amazing staff, and we're rocking. And I'm like, I want to create something different for outside. I wanted it to have its own almost identity.
So it's its own business, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Even with our POS system, it's set up as separate so we can see, how's the outside bar do compared to the inside bar, this and that and this and that. It's it's marketing it as Embers, which Nick came up with that logo as well. I don't know if you saw it on social media. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to almost remarket the place. It's not just, hey, I'm going to go to Angry Smokehouse tonight. It's, hey, let's hang out at Embers tonight. I'll be at Embers, and I have cornhole boards that the breweries made me, so I'll have cornhole out there. We're just going to make it a party, a blues and barbecue party bar.
So is Embers going to be a open only when Ashes?
Yeah,
Same hours?
No, I mean, people are hanging out later there, and they want, if it's a Wednesday
flexible,
night, if it's a Wednesday night and they want to hang till 2 a.m, that bar's going to stay open till 2 a.m.
You got outdoor bands?
During the summer, they set up on the deck. Okay. So and this deck, without the bar last year, it was nuts, man. It was crazy.
It's like party at someone's house.
Yeah, and that's what I want.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I want. I want people to come in here and feel like they're at home, or they're at their buddy's house, and they're hanging out, they're having beers, listening to music, standing at the bar. Get a little bit rowdy, get a little bit loud. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, we were just talking about it on the way in. We were talking about, I don't know what restaurant we're talking about. We're sitting in the car and we went somewhere and he's like, yeah, it just wasn't, it was this place before you.
Owners before you,
Yeah.
this place. I just walked in and it was just like cold. It's not welcoming.
Wasn't inviting,
I feel like I didn't want to be here. Like they ran their office right out of the dining room, and I was like, it's weird. They're yelling at their staff. I'm like, oh man, this is just this is just bad. I've worked in restaurant before too, but I would never tolerate that.
No, I can't handle hearing bosses yell.
And there's a place for it. There's a time for it if needed, but it's just not in a public space.
If employees fucking up, you can talk about it. Yeah,
I mean, we
not
do it all
in
the
front
time.
of customers.
No, you don't belittle them in front of guests.
Like we fired each other like 3 or 4 times. Like,
All the time.
taking podcast host interviews. Like
Today happened twice.
It's a good thing I left, huh?
But yeah, if you got anything else we want to get out of your hair and
No, I mean, I love that you're giving me the opportunity to promote the businesses. I do. And we talked a lot about it. I mean, the Embers are opening up hopefully end of May. Hopefully Embers Deck Bar is going to open up. So we're not far away. All the outdoor equipment for that gets delivered actually tomorrow. So we're going to start setting up the bar tomorrow and role play, I guess. Make sure.
Yeah, we've done that before, right? I mean, not together, but
What? At the bar.
He just threw you a curveball. And then, Angry Waters mid-June, launching mid-June. Between the 3 social media pages, 700 shares.
yeah.
For Angry Waters. I was like, oh, fuck.
Yep.
I'm like, we are fucked.
Yep.
And then within 24 hours, 10 catering requests for the boat to pull up to docks for grad parties. I'm like, this is so cool.
Yeah, so it's perfect for you in June, with that time. But and then did I see there's people can somehow request you at their homes if they're out? Like how would they do that for Angry Waters?
For the catering section.
Okay.
That's for the catering
Okay,
side.
so if we're just hanging out in our backyard,
if you're in your backyard, flag me down at the boat at your dock, and I'll pull it right up to your dock.
That's what I'm talking about. Yep. Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's a full delivery service. Well, full delivery service.
No, but it's a great concept, and like Amy had said, it's not something I've ever heard of before. I mean,
I can foresee you needing a second boat soon.
maybe a podcast boat.
I'll follow.
We follow them.
We can start a DBA. We'll be Angry Wiener.
That's awesome.
But we shouldn't be behind them.
No.
We can do a podcast from the boat anytime you want.
Yeah. That'd be cool. You talk to people because you know what kind of people you're going to meet. Yeah. How many have you had? Well, I'm not driving a boat. I've had 20.
Yeah.
Okay, you're the only person in the boat, buddy.
I mean, for the boat, I'm actually putting a breathalyzer on the boat.
Not your boat. I'm talking about someone else's boat coming up. Yeah. I'm talking about someone else's boat.
For the captain?
Yeah. Well, no one's going to be allowed to turn the ignition key without blowing first. And it's an electronic one with it's a digital one rather run. So I'll get a report on my phone.
Oh, nice.
So it's I don't mess around with that type of stuff.
No, you can't. You can't.
I know how I was 20 years ago, and if someone said to me, "Hey, will you drive my food boat?" I would have said yes.
Yeah, right.
I'll quit whatever I'm doing,
and I won't drink.
And I promise you, I won't touch any alcohol, no matter who else is out on the water. Yeah. Okay. So it's
that's
just too much
irresponsible.
liability.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's a liability. It's expensive.
Operating a boat is just like operating a car. You need to be aware of your surroundings.
You do.
I mean, you'll be surrounded by a lot of drunk people. You need your captain to be drunk as well.
Yeah, and the temptation on the water is obviously going to be far greater than the temptation of hopping in your car and stopping by a bar and having a couple beers on your way home. Yeah. That temptation is 100 times.
Yeah. And it's a little sneaky because, you're drinking in the sun, so there's different things that contribute to maybe how you're feeling. If in the winter, you're really inside. You can't go outside in fucking winter here.
Right.
So you don't really know what's going to happen in the sun.
Nobody packs water on the boat. It's a cooler full of beer.
Right. It's true. But you'll have water.
Water and soda.
Yeah. There you go.
So good.
So your social medias, where can people find you on social media?
Well, the Angry Garlic and Angry Smokehouse and soon Angry Waters will all be on Instagram. They're already on Instagram and Facebook. But I'll be starting a Angry Waters page here soon. Yeah.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
I don't. Should I?
You should.
I should?
Go.
Video is pretty big.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and it really could be simple for you. I mean, you don't have to. You can make it whatever you want as far as, the 3 companies, and then just put footage on, say us.
If it's too much work, you can be like, hey guys, I got something going on. Can you come record for me and then throw it on YouTube?
Okay. Well, you'll see some of this footage we'll send you for the B-roll. But then, people like to see what you have. Like you can bring pets, or how much seating is it, or is it covered? Because people don't know this is probably covered.
It's another.
So you're out of the sun.
It's another avenue of audience to reach out, Joe. There are people who just love watching YouTube. Sure. They spend hours watching YouTube. There's people who spend hours on social media. Yeah. So it's just another channel avenue of getting more people.
The younger staff here, they're like, oh, you gotta start doing TikToks and this and that and this and that. Now I'm an idiot when it comes to this. I could barely post something on social media on a daily basis, and I'm so proud that I get it done. But none of them are great. I bought the best phone camera possible so it could take a good food photo for me, But when it comes to actual, I can't. I see some of these posts. My good friend Jimmy Dealey over at Pizza Man, he does all these super cool posts. I'm like, how the frick did you do that, man? How'd you get all that writing and moving parts and stuff on that post? Right? So they convinced me to start TikToking. And now I'm called a TikToker now, which I wasn't aware. So I open up this TikTok account and I start playing around with it. And I'm doing some videos and this and that. And Hannah, and her nickname is Ralphie. Ralphie's my niece that works here. She's amazing. She's like, she calls me up. She's like, Uncle Jeff, just stop. She goes, just stop.
Put the phone down.
She goes, the videos
Step
are
away from the phone.
She goes, you're looping them for 3 seconds and the music keeps playing. She goes, stop. She goes, can I please have your TikTok account stuff and let me do it for you? Mm-hmm. I was like,
thank you.
I guess. And now another thing about me is I'm a control freak. I don't like people to have control over anything with accounts and stuff like that. And I just need to have my hands in everything. So I posted 4 more. And I sent her a text.
Because someone told you not to, and you had to do it.
Well, I'm like, I want to master this, right? I posted 4 more, and then I texted her. I'm like, Ralphie, check it out. I think I got it now. And she texted me back. She's like, there's not even anything to open. She goes, she goes, this blanket just says the TikTok logo. She goes, and there's music in the background. And I was like, fuck, man, I thought I had it. Yeah. So I gave it all over to her, and she's doing all of it for me now.
That is part of the problem, because all these platforms are different. I mean, you could do a lot with all of them, but you can't do them all the same way.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of work. It is a curve to learn. There's all these algorithms and things like that you got to know, and grabbing people's attention, it's just it gets overwhelming. I still don't know. I just record something, we throw the shit out there, hope it works.
It's fun.
But we're learning as we go.
My 2 youngest kids are 13 and 10, and they're like, oh, Dad, no, let me help you. And he went on this app called CapCut. It's called CapCut. Yeah. And he in 7 seconds, he made a better video on CapCut than I did. And it took me an hour and 45 minutes to make 1 TikTok video. I was like, how do you even know this stuff, dude? How does this happen? And am I a really bad dad for not knowing that you know this stuff? I'm at Father of the Year, I have no idea that my kid knows how to do this CapCut shit. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, what else is going on that I don't know about?
And there's so much patience, and you don't want to know about it. Yeah. But there's so much patience that goes in. His 7 minutes is our 70. Yeah. I try it, and I get impatient, and I fuck something up, and I'm like, I don't want to do it anymore. So, and kind of slide that over my wife, and
Yeah.
can you do what you think is right? Because I don't know.
I can't keep up.
Yeah.
So YouTube channel, check. Heard. I will get a YouTube
It's just,
channel.
it's cool. I mean, you get
And
subscribers.
use AI tools. They'll make your life easier as well.
What tool?
It's a artificial intelligence.
Use
AI.
those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There are tools online that will help you create things.
Done. Just call the YouTube channel.
Reach out
Well,
to
Ralphie will
us.
know how to do it.
Send us a text message or whatever. We can share what we use. And
But then,
Okay.
do the text, the captions, read across screen, because I think the stat was 90% of the people that watch these reels and stuff like this on Instagram and Facebook and are all no sound because they're watching at work.
Oh, no.
So they want the
they're reading the subtitles.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The text, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So cool. Anyway,
So the
yeah.
Angry YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Angry YouTube.
that's right.
Well, thank you, Jeff, for having us.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to eating. I've eaten quite a bit at Angry Garlic. I haven't eaten here. Familiar with location. I'm sure the food's going to be fantastic.
Thank you.
Looking forward to eating off the boat.
Yes.
Maybe we can be part of the role play for your
For the
your
outside
boat.
bar.
Yeah.
For Amber.
I mean, I'm not saying no to this role play thing, but I got to know what's happening.
It's gonna happen after hours.
If there's Vaseline and ether,
Shit's gonna
I
get
am
weird.
definitely in. Yeah, definitely in if there's Vaseline and ether.
It's gonna smell like Burt Robert.
Latex, crispy latex. All right.
Yeah. This was pleasure. I hope we can do it again with more updates.
Absolutely. Love it.
And you got to do your tattoo to the camera.
Yeah, that one.
This one?
Yeah.
So this one is
fresh, right?
ash. This is all smokehouse from here down, and then from here up, it goes up to here. It's all Angry Garlic up here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you get it done locally?
Oh yeah, timeless.
That's what I would
Little Jimmy?
What's that?
Little Jimmy, right?
James, a gentleman
James.
by the name of James, does all my work over there. They, Kyle, the owner, all of them, the whole staff there. They're
So I
amazing.
think Jimmy
Yeah.
did this, right? Little Jimmy.
Yeah, he did my tattoo.
Same one, James.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's James is Little Jimmy. Little Jimmy is his Instagram thing. I don't know.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But he's done some here for me, some there. But yeah. Yes. Yeah. Amazing tattoo. And he knows me, and he knows I am like, when I say needles are torture for me, I mean I pass out the sight of a needle. So like now he just knows, he's like, I got your gallon of water right here for you. If you pass out, you want me to just keep going, or do you want me to wake you up? I'm like, no, I don't.
It's like
Don't
college all
fucking
over
wake
again.
me up. Are
It's
you
all
kidding
college
me?
all over again.
You know, if I wake up, hit me as hard as you can in the face while I'm laying down to get me to pass out again.
Don't put me through it again.
No, just go, man. So he's so patient with all of them are, because they all know how. Like I'll start getting cold sweats sitting there waiting to go in the chair. Like here's a cold cloth for your head. Like I'm not kidding you. And then and all my family's like, why do you fucking keep doing it? What are you doing right now? But the end result, I love the end result, and I just love the representation of it. This is my life's history right here. You know, and this arm, it's my kids and stuff all over here. So I just love the representation of it.
That's awesome.
And James and Kyle and the whole crew over there, they're just so cooperative with
I'll be going
babies
back
like
to
me.
continue.
Right. I'm sure there's more than just you, but yeah. So really, we
Thank you.
appreciate you spending time with us
Yeah.
and let us do this and
And there'll be part 2, 3, 4.
and we'll get some lunch and we'll get
Excellent.
some
Thank you.
supplemental
Sounds
footage.
good. Thank you,
Jeff.
Thank you,
Thank you,
guys.
sir.
I appreciate you
Yeah,
guys.
thank you.